you're comparing mediation, collaborative, and litigation, I'm always going to say that litigation is more expensive. Now, that doesn't mean you can't reach agreements in litigation. You can. You can have two attorneys that cooperate and work together and reach an agreement. But in most cases, it's going to be more expensive. And the reason is because as you're going through the divorce and you're preparing, what is necessary in order to either get to an agreement or get to a judge to adjudicate a decision, there's information gathering and there's analyzing that needs to happen to do that. You are in a process with just your attorney, and so you're perhaps hiring experts. You are having your attorney do the work that a financial person maybe could do a lot less expensive. Like in the collaborative process, you bring in individual team members who are doing the work that they have the most knowledge and training on, instead of having the attorney do everything, which is what you're doing in litigation. And the attorney is overseeing everything, and the attorney is advising the client. So it's not as much of an empowering process. And so that tends to be more expensive. And oftentimes in litigation, the other side is doing the same thing. So you've got duplicate efforts going on, which are costly. And then sometimes you have dueling experts. You have experts who are opining on the same thing and making completely different opinions. And then that has to be resolved. And that can become more expensive. And you often have to have discovery because there isn't that transparency layer that you have in mediation and collaborative. In collaborative, it's a requirement as part of the process that if there's a mistake or a misunderstanding made by the other side on a particular issue, that gets brought to the table and corrected right away. So no one's taking advantage of the other. So litigation, most expensive. Collaborative, I would say, is the next level. However, as I said, in Sacramento, we are working on trying to create a model for modest mean income families that is in the process of being developed. Again, as I said, collaborative is a front-loaded process. So you are paying a retainer for your attorneys and your mental health professionals and your financial person just as a starting point. However, that doesn't mean the retainers necessarily get used up or the process isn't able to be completed within those retainers, which it usually is. So it ends up being a less expensive process than litigation by far. Mediation is the least expensive because you only have one attorney who's not representing either one of you, that's just facilitating the agreement and creating the marital settlement agreement, which is the end result. That becomes the party's divorce judgment. However, sometimes the mediator does need to bring in expertise, such as an expert for valuing a business or determining a pension, et cetera. So that can still be something that can add to the cost in mediation as well. But that's kind of the tier of cost as those three models would dictate.